Hi everyone, Bear from Bear Reads Books. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a book review, and a little while ago I stopped doing book reviews for every single book I was reading. It was really taking a lot of time, and I felt like I was repeating myself quite a bit, so I've stopped that. And I said in a previous video that I would continue to do it for books that I really felt was something special that maybe other people hadn't heard about. And I've come across one of those this week, and I've just finished Sophie Hardcastle's Below Deck, which is an Australian novelist, Australian book. And Sophie Hardcastle has had two previous novels, both well received, one especially, two or three, three. And this one, Below Deck, is spectacular. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. When I first started reading it and read the back, I thought, oh, okay, this is kind of like a mystery, but it is not. And I think I said that in my last video, something about it being a mystery, but it's not. I was just in the mystery headspace with a lot of other books, I think. It is literary fiction, and it tells the story of a woman called Olivia, or Ollie, as people start to call her, whose life is not where she wants it to be. So she's got a very good internship with a investment bank coming up after finishing her degree in economics, but it's not what she wants to do. It's what her boyfriend wants her to do, and it's what her father wants her to do, but it's not what makes her happy, even though she's very, very good at what she does. So instead of taking this internship, she decides to go on a boat trip with a man that she met only, an elderly man that she met only very recently, on a complete whim, with him and his girlfriend and her, so just the three of them. They go up to the Timor Sea, right at the top of Australia, from Sydney. So they sail all the way up to the top near the Barrier Reef and beyond, and then back for weeks at a time. So she misses the beginning of her internship, and that becomes the springboard for the rest of the book, which takes her through a couple of different careers and life changes, both good and bad. And it was very, very subtly done. And I mentioned in the last video that at periods when she's talking about her economics and her boyfriend and the relationship with her father, the prose does an excellent job of restricting her, and you really feel like she's tied up. You really feel like that she's desperately trying to get away, or that she's trapped in something she doesn't want to be part of. And then as soon as she gets onto this boat and meets this man that invites her onto the boat, everything opens up. The prose, her emotions, her view of colour is just incredible. So a lot of the imagery in the book is very spectacularly done. I think she mentions at the beginning that and I can't remember the scientific term for it, but she sees emotions in colour blooms. And you may have heard of this sort of thing before, and I can't remember the term for it, but she sees things like this. So when someone's angry at her, she sees flares of colour. If someone's sad and walking away, she sees their footsteps in blue walking away down the pavement. And these are referred to frequently throughout the book, and what it does very nicely is ties everything together and brings all of those emotions really close to the surface. So you end up feeling very close to this character because of this imagery of colour and all of the change that happens throughout the book as she goes through her little mini adventures and career changes and relationship changes. It's great. And then her periods on the ocean, on boats, where she's expansive and the prose really opens up. Some of the imagery used to describe the colours of the sea and her experiences on the ocean are quite magnificent. So wonderfully written. And so she continues doing what she loves until an event stops that. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but an event stops her from loving the sea, and the next we hear is years later, where she has changed careers again, doing something that she loves, but there's a restlessness to her. And I think no matter what she does, there's this restlessness to her. So she ends up having a boyfriend that she thinks she should love, if you understand the difference. She thinks she should love because he loves her dearly, and she thinks she should love him back, and she thinks she might love him back. But all of these past restrictions on her and all these bad things that have happened to her in the past keep holding her back from actually saying the words and committing to this person and moving forward with this person. So she is such an interesting character, this Ollie person, and really drawn very well by Sophie Hardcastle right throughout the book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't give too much more away of the plot without giving it away for you, but it really covers these 4 distinct periods of her life through different careers and relationships and good things and bad things happening. And you've got the relationship with her and her father and mother, and then you've got the relationship with this old man and his girlfriend that introduce her to boating and going out on the ocean. Then you've got a couple of different boyfriends, and over time she ends up in the art world, which is really where she wants to be, and there's a few people circling around that world that both make her feel constricted and restricted, and that open her mind to new things. So that she's this constant pulsing of emotions as you feel her constrict on herself and then open up to the world. And yeah, she's such a, in many ways, an insecure person, an insecure character, but is desperately trying to fix that. She's not happy in her own insecurities by any stretch of the imagination, and she keeps flipping to new careers or making new choices simply so she can work through these things that are going on in her head constantly. Really nicely done. I hope I've made sense of it. Check it out on Goodreads. The ratings, even though small, because it is quite a new release and it's an Australian release, so small market, but the rating is well above 4 on Goodreads, and you might hear others talking, maybe making a little bit more sense about it than I am. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was a 5-star for me, and I haven't had too many 5s this year, even with the BookTube prizes and stuff like that. I think I've tried to reserve my 5s quite a bit, but I have really enjoyed Sophie Hardcastle's Below Deck. And very soon I'll have the ranking for Sophie Hardcastle's Below Deck on my new ranking system. If you haven't seen that video, go and check it out, about me trying to get better at ranking the books that I read in a year. I'm a bit flippant with how I give out 3, 4s and 5 stars and how I rank things in my head. I'm not good at describing that, so it's a skill I'm trying to develop in myself. So the other video lays it all out about how I'm going to go about ranking all the books from now on, and I hope you'll join me in that journey. But I'm going to, you'll see where I put Sophie Hardcastle Below Deck in that list very soon. That's it, I think. That's a good little review, and I haven't done a full review of a book for quite some time. I hope I did it justice. Please go and grab this book. It's really cool. Enjoy. Have a great day, wherever you may be, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.